Hello guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. So the question for today's video is, how are polysaccharide classified? Okay, so in this video I'm not only going to just start with polysaccharides, right? First I'm going to classify the carbohydrates, and then I'm going to enter into the classification of polysaccharides, right? So without wasting any time, let us start the video, or let us start the main topic. Okay, so first thing we have to start with, or we have to know about, is carbohydrate classification. So carbohydrates are basically classified into two main categories. One is sugar, sweet to taste, and another is non-sugars, right? Non-sugars are usually insoluble in water. Now sugars are further classified into two types mainly. Okay, the first one is monosaccharide. Only one unit is present, like glucose is a monosaccharide, and the second part is oligosaccharide, and it is composed of usually 2 to 10 monosaccharide units, right? So it may be disaccharide, trisaccharide, tetrasaccharide, or pentasaccharide, like that. Okay, now non-sugars or polysaccharides are classified into two main types, and the two types are Homo Polysaccharides. So in Homo Polysaccharides, the monosaccharide unit is the same, right? Polysaccharides have greater than 10 monosaccharides, and the heteropolysaccharide, where the monosaccharide unit is usually different, and this Homo Polysaccharide can also be either branched or unbranched. Okay, branched or unbranched, and heteropolysaccharide also can be branched or unbranched. Also, please remember this classification is based on the composition, right? Composition or structure of carbohydrates. But there is another type of classification which we are going to come next. So in this type, the carbohydrates are classified based on their function, right? This classification is based on the function of carbohydrates. So it is mainly of three types. The first one is like the food storage carbohydrates that mainly function as food storage materials. This classification contains like starch, which is the food storage form in plants, glycogen, the storage form of glucose in animals, and also inulin, right? Inulin also a storage polysaccharide. It's found on roots of dahlia and artichokes. Okay. The second is the second part consists of the structural polysaccharides, right? So this is the classification of polysaccharides only, right? Not carbohydrates. Heading will be polysaccharides, that would be more accurate. So the structural is like, for example, cellulose, cell wall of plants, right? It is present in plant cell walls. Also then there is chitin, right? It is present in the exoskeleton of insects. Okay, so this much only you need to know the structural polysaccharides. The third type is known as Muco Polysaccharide, right? The third type is known as Muco Polysaccharide or Glycosaminoglycans, GAGs. Okay. In the next few slides, I'm going to discuss some important topics, right? So first one that I'm going to discuss about is glycogen, right? So as we already know that glycogen is a storage polysaccharide, right? Storage polysaccharide, the stored form of glucose that is present in animals, right? And it is stored in the liver. It is a monomer of glucose. The glycogen molecule is very highly branched. So can we like explain why it is branched? So let us try to explain this, that what is the significance of branching. So this blue part represents a core protein to which suppose unbranched glycogen chains are attached. Okay, so this red part shows the glycogen chains. Now as you can see, if there was no branching, then as you can see, lot of space is present between the chains, right? So this is inefficient method of storage. Now let us see how it is actually stored. So this is the core protein, and these are again the chains of, and these chains are highly branched, right? As you can see, there is lot of branching in these glycogen molecules. Okay, so as you can see, the space is getting filled, and glycogen, since it is a monomer of glucose, so more and more glucose can be stored, right? The amount of glucose stored is highly increased in this form of storage. More is stored, and it is the same space is being occupied, right? And therefore the glycogen molecule is very highly branched. Now coming to the next part, and this is going to be about glycosaminoglycans, or as you know, Muco Polysaccharides, right? Okay, so Muco Polysaccharides. So like these molecules are usually in the extracellular space of multicellular organisms. Okay, so usually they are present in the extracellular matrix. Okay, and how are they composed? Like they are mainly composed of, composition or structure is like they are linear polymers. Okay, they are linear polymers of repeating disaccharide units, right? The disaccharides are repeated and they form a linear polymer, and one of the disaccharides or one of the unit of the disaccharide, means one of the monosaccharide that forms the disaccharide, is usually N-acetyl glucosamine or N-acetyl galactosamine. Okay, and the second monosaccharide, right, the second part of the disaccharide is formed by something known as uronic acid, right? It is usually of two types. Usually these two types are present, which is D-glucuronic acid and L-iduronic acid. Okay, now to note that these glycosaminoglycans are exclusively found in animals, right? Only found in animals and not in plants. So example of these glycosaminoglycans are hyaluronic acid, and there is chondroitin sulfate, also agar-agar. There is also agar-agar. It is used in gel electrophoresis. So thank you for watching, and if you like this video, do share, subscribe, and also click on the like button. Don't forget to follow my Instagram.